Moving right along now.
Yeah, you could make this movie, but
How about questions from you? Who has a question?
well, right up to that microphone.
Thank you. I guess my question would be, do you think it would be possible to make that movie today, being so politically incorrect and wonderful?
Could you get a little closer to the... No, couldn't do it. No, couldn't do that. Now I do another picture for Mel. I don't know when it was, but it was.
About 10 years.
Huh?
The producers.
The producers, yeah. And Mel said, we were chatting one day, and he said, you know, we couldn't do this picture now. Well, you can understand why. I mean, it's 40 years ago, and people were different, and talked different, and thought different. But you could not do this picture today because it wouldn't be the time to do it. But Mel, I mean, he is a genius. He knew that he had to do something. You see, he had done about 2 or 3 pictures before this picture. And most of them were not big money makers. And this was his comeback picture, really. So he knew he had to do something different.
Didn't you tell me once that he asked John Wayne to be in the movie?
Well, yeah, I was with him that day. We were walking on the lot, and I had done a couple of pictures with Duke, and he was walking there, and Mel said, "I got a great part for you." And Duke said, "No, it wouldn't be my thing." So he asked Duke to
I
do
wonder
it.
if he ever saw it.
Oh, sure he did. I don't think there's a person in the world that hasn't seen it. You know, when this picture came out, it did not make any money. It was a big flop, money-wise. But something happened kind of strange. All the kids, like you then, all the kids would go and see it and remember the lines, and they would go back to see it again and again and again, and 5 and 10 times, and so that's what made it a big hit, and it was eventually called a cult picture.
Well, that's like a picture that you made a few years ago, The Big Lebowski.
Yes, I am the Big Lebowski.
Well, and Roddy, I don't know if you remember, but for those who have only seen it on television, in the campfire scene, there were no sounds when they aired it on television.
The networks wouldn't allow it.
The networks wouldn't allow it, and so everyone would, rise and you could use your imagination. But didn't Mel create all those sounds himself?
Did everyone.
More questions from out there? Yes.
And this particular work was really broke the whole convention of vulgarity in comedy. It did. I mean, there's everything in it that we now do. So when you say that this couldn't be done today, I think you're wrong. I think it developed dark comedy in even the TV. TV has changed along with the movies in the 60s especially. And we talked about it, a lot of the people that were in writers in comedy. And the truth of the matter is that all these things have been done again, but a little more subtly, because Mel Brooks was, you know, everything goes. And but this has changed the whole concept of censorship. So I don't agree with you. It could be done today.
It wasn't me that said that, Mel said that.
Well, he was vulgar. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah, well,
But
you know,
it's funny. It's funny as hell.
The studios, I mean, the N-word, they wouldn't allow you to use that today. I mean, as a...
Well, I think you're right there.
Huh?
I think you're right there. It has been, now we decided that this is something was denigrating, and so we wouldn't do it now. But the thing is, I think if you had another Mel Brooks, they could do this well with it, with what he did, this material, because it could be done today.
Maybe you're right, and I hope you are, but
I don't think people would be shocked today with a lot of this. I mean, it's been done so many more times. Some
Well,
of
you
the
notice
words
how
and
many
so-
laughs we got tonight. Oh, it's tremendous, tremendous. The laughter that we got with this audience, you can see that they knew, even though they said the word "and," you know, I mean, it was funny the way he did it, you know.
He's
And so
supporting
I
what?
think it could be done again.
He's supporting saying the
okay.
N-word.
I'll tell them.
Murders.
More questions?
Anybody in the balcony? Oh yeah, there's someone in the balcony would like, if you can yell it out.
I wasn't around when the movie first came out. Was it shocking or was it funny?
When it came out, was it shocking or?
Both.
What was it supposed to
Both. I was living in Hollywood at that time, and the general, no, I want to say the general public, but there were producers and directors who didn't like it because it was kind of a put down to Hollywood at that time. And but I say the kids are the ones who really brought it to fruition, because they would go back and see it so many times, and it created a box office.
And
Tell a funny story about Miss Ben Stoop, how she got the part. How she, Madeline.
Madeline Kahn.
She got the part?
Yeah, in other words, wasn't she starting to do another movie?
I don't know.
Yeah, she was actually to be doing another film with Lucille Ball. I believe it was Auntie Mame. And she got herself fired off of that film. And Lucille Ball, because she knew she wanted to be able to do this film, and Lucille Ball, said that she was acting badly intentionally so that she could get fired and therefore collect unemployment, get 2 salaries, because she had a buyout deal that if, so she got paid for both films, so it was a big thing.
I never heard that.
But there's all kinds of, well, you'll see as you And since you'll have your own copy to look through, it'll be interesting to look at the trivia of certain things, like tell about Mel as he plays the different characters, like the Indian chief when he speaks.
Yeah, well, he wrote himself a pretty good part.
He speaks all in Yiddish.
Well, he was speaking Yiddish when as the Indian chief, and you know, it was funny.